how do we know that the things written in the Bible or in the various spiritual books across the nation are truthful? How do we know that? And I had to tell him, how do you know that they're not? You must first read the book. You got to read it. And then you've got to go about life and pondering it. And then allowing it to show itself to you, because it will do that. That is the beauty of the Bible. One thing for sure that I know about is that when you read the Bible, whenever you engage with it consistently, whenever you set aside time to read it, it meets you right there. It's as if it was waiting on you. And it begins to form a cohesive connection to you, so that the words that you're reading become relevant in your life. They go from theory to real world perspectives. They meet your yearning. It's as if the words written within the book, the Bible, search you, and they determine your level of yearning for its truth. And it begins to show its truth to you along your path in life. That's the power of this book. This book is not theoretical. I mean, you could make it that, depending upon the spirit you have when you approach it. It is a conscious essence. Literally. When it captures you in the form of fascination, imagination, and yearning, it meets your desire. It searches for your desire of it. It wants to know, do you want to know it? Literally, it does this. And it will search you for whatever that level is. And it will begin to show the truths of itself to you along your path in real time, in real life. Friend, reading your Bible will cover you like a force field nothing else in this life can penetrate. Just as God covered these children like no one else could cover them in this life, when you begin to read this book and you truly approach it with the right spirit, not the spirit of manipulation, you're going to play games with yourself. You're only going to waste your time. But when you come before it with a humble and a authentic yearning to know, when you really want to know, you approach it from that perspective, it sings its song to you. It's like an elderly person in your family that when you walk into their house, it has that warm, fuzzy feeling, and you know you're loved. I'm not trying to create imagery based upon fantasy and solicitation. That is not this. I'm only speaking from my perspective because I can only pull from my experiences. And when I first began reading my Bible, this was the draw to it. I was living a worldly life. Dating street guys, drug dealers, trying to compete with other girls and keep up and look like everybody else and have the things that everybody else had and go to all the good restaurants and wear all the nice clothes and have the nice apartment. But in my downtime, my real time, I needed my connection with God just so that I could keep going out and facing the ups and downs that I faced, to give me the courage to compete, because it was draining. Trying to keep up and fit in to things that I didn't really truly feel that I fit into. It was draining. And during those seasons, those spells that I would have where I would huddle up in my apartment, and on Saturday morning I just lay there reading my Bible. Go Monday, go to work, get off work, read my Bible. It was like I was locked in. And friend, and the more I locked in, the more I could feel it covering me, like a loving hug. Literally. And the more I stayed consistent to that, the stronger that loving hug became. It was only when I would deviate away from that, when I would put my study time down and I would go out, hang out at the bars and at the clubs and be having hangovers and socializing and not having time for that study time, that things began to chip away and fall apart until things began to really fall apart and I needed to get them back together again. And here I come back to my spiritual practices, my reading my Bible and going to church on Sundays. Until one day I said, I remember this distinctively. You keep going back only when things are going bad for you. What if you just made it your point to just stay in this? What if you just kept what feels so good to you going and incorporated everything else into that as you could? But see, I couldn't do that. I couldn't live the life I was living and follow this spiritual pattern that I had adopted. I had to give up one for sake of the other. And I did. I chose the world until all hell broke loose. Literally. All hell broke loose. Until all the things that I thought were so great, the reputation and the appearances and the trinkets and the materialization and the competing and the looks and all that kind of stuff didn't matter. I still had all of that. Or at least what it took to get it back, even if I lost the material possessions of it, or some of them. But it was as if they didn't even matter. God will sit me in a corner, friend, in front of everybody, rearrange my entire life, reinvent me. And this reinvention would happen over and over and over again. And God will do the same thing for you. And my reinventions, each time that they have come upon me, have made me better. They were catastrophic and chaotic, but they made me so much better. So much better.